This week, shit's about to get heavy. Welcome everybody to this week's episode of the Cream of the Crop podcast. As always, I am joined, man. I'm already one too many in. I'm joined by Olas and KJ. I'd like to say, we've been consistent, but I haven't been.
I try to be.
2025 starts right now for us. Consistency. 2 episodes dropping this week. This one and one from last week. And we'll go back to the once a week. Fuck you, I saw that. We'll go back to the once a the week uploads. But we have so much fun stuff to cover this week, and so many rants are gonna happen tonight. Somewhat drunken. So we'll start with something fun, or not fun, but something interesting. And this week in Geek is hey. After 6 months of speculation from Game Informer, Game Rants, and every other Reddit post, Switch 2 finally dropped their kind of trailer.
It's black now.
Yeah, you know,
Hulk Hogan doesn't approve.
Hulk Hogan ain't playing this.
Not gonna work for me, brother.
But so from what I could tell from the trailer, it looks like it's a bigger screen. The Joy-Cons, and black.
Bigger and black.
It's a BBS, big
That's
black
the rumor.
screen.
It's not a real American, brother.
It's kind of ironic what our theme is too. That's
you know what?
Yeah, we got to.
We might need to change that. You know,
we got. I was thinking about it today. I was like, I don't think we should have that anymore.
Yeah, well,
that's the wrong message.
We'll take that one back to the drawing board.
Especially when like a guy that looks like me, like that.
Yeah,
the bald and the we're playing with fire.
I'm wearing a clan shirt, so.
Yeah, but it's of the Wu-Tang
variety.
I know. I just want to see
the coolest of the clans.
It's the only clan I fuck with. Like that's.
I have a little bit of Wu-Tang Clan lore, but
I swear to God, I thought you were about to say you had a little Wu-Tang in you. That's what I was. I don't know why.
Wow.
Hey, I was just, just going it like it is.
I was just gonna talk about Method Man beating up a guy in a gym.
Just like 6ix9ine.
No, he saw his daughter's ex-boyfriend in a what was it, Crunch gym, and he just beat the shit out of him.
That's why Planet Fitness.
People say he got arrested. People say he got arrested and he denied ever getting arrested.
Hey, you know what? That wouldn't happen at a Planet Fitness.
Oh no,
because they don't judge you there.
Yeah.
Again, he only said he didn't get arrested. He only admitted to that part. Beating the guy up? Nah.
I believe him.
I did it.
But
why would you snitch on yourself and then leave the part out where you got arrested?
So other things in the Switch 2, it looks like they are switching to a magnetic Joy-Con.
Okay.
I will say what I saw of it I don't like, because it looks like it's magnetic, but there's still kind of almost like a connector piece on the ends of it that I absolutely think would get broken if you're not careful. So I hope they maybe mess with that a little bit. In the process of this, they did kind of give what people are assuming is a glimpse of Mario Kart 9.
With new Donkey Kong.
With new Donkey Kong that looks terrible, and 24-player games.
Wait, what's the new Donkey Kong?
They slightly redesigned Donkey Kong
for Mario Kart, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
I get it. It doesn't look great.
Well, because I saw the I didn't know that the Donkey Kong Country Returns HD was out.
Yeah, that just recently dropped, I think.
Because I've been seeing people playing it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I love the SNES version of Donkey Kong Country. So
yeah, my kiddo saw that and wants me to get it, so that'll probably be on my buy list.
I might have to get me that.
Yeah.
Just because.
Well, that's why I was going to lead into this. So Switch 2 coming out. I think it's a $400 price point.
That's not bad.
Here's my thing, and I'm gonna wait for a little more for it because they didn't really go over anything graphic wise or processor wise. It's got, I mean, at this point we have to be like 60 FPS standard, right?
Nope.
Like that has to be the standard.
No.
Or sorry, should be the standard.
Yes.
Well, yeah.
You know, especially
So-
like when you're being a handheld, being the only handheld in the game isn't a thing anymore. Stream Deck is around. There's multitude of other versions. I think Lenovo's got one. I think Asus has got one coming out or has one already out. You know, they gotta up the quality at some point.
So allegedly, it's supposed to be as strong as the PS4 Pro,
Okay.
but it's still capping out at least 40 frames per second.
See, I just don't understand how if Stream Deck can run games the way
Steam
it does. Sorry, yes, Steam Deck. I keep saying Stream Deck.
Yeah.
The Steam Deck can run games the way it can. I don't understand why the Switch can't do that.
Yeah.
You know, you have games like Pokemon that are struggling to run on the console that it's only on. Like, well, it's 2025. There's no reason 60 FPS can't be the standard. It can be done.
I will say, I mean, Nintendo has purposely went with a lesser graphics aesthetic. I don't know how
Yeah.
to word that better. But like all of their games have that more cartoonish type of thing where like your PC games, your PS
Yeah.
games, your Xbox games have that more like realistic kind of look to it. There are exceptions, obviously, like a couple of JRPGs have come out. What's the one that was up for the awards? Was it Phantasmo something? Uh, fuck.
I know what you're talking about tonight.
But like that has more of like the anime look to it as opposed to so
Yeah.
that that's different. It's
And
not
I-
as
and I
graphic
get that.
intensive, but
Like, I'm not
but
saying
like if
I
that's their
need.
niche,
Yeah.
like I the thing is we've had this conversation before where like Nintendo fans are gonna buy
Nintendo
whatever
product, no matter
Nintendo's
what.
gonna
Yeah.
get, right?
Yep.
You're gonna get whatever new Zelda game ends up coming out, and whatever new Mario game comes out for it, and whatever else, like whatever the Smash game that comes out for it. Like everybody's gonna go pick those titles up because that's what they play. If they're not running at 60 FPS,
It just makes it difficult because I don't disagree with what you're saying. I'm not expecting like Elden Ring level
no,
quality
but-
out of this, but at least the games you are gonna put out for it run at a correct frame rate where you don't have like, I know they plenty of glimpses of Scarlet and Violet Pokemon where things were just choppy as hell and they're they're running at 15 frames and like that shouldn't be happening.
Power World was better. Oh, I mean,
Well, we need to jump back into that because apparently they've added a bunch of shit to that game.
Yeah.
it had a big ass update.
Yeah.
I haven't.
Ooh,
Yeah,
actually.
So I need to re-download that and check it out and play with people that aren't fucking idiots. Yeah,
wow, that's
you're
a
good.
common theme with what you're
Most
doing.
of my stuff. Yeah. Hey,
Yeah.
we found some new friends. You know,
I was gonna play Lockdown Protocol with y'all because I didn't see the notification that
usuals?
you were looking for a team. So I'm like, oh, I just saw a bunch of people. I'm like, y'all have enough.
it was.
I did just play that for the first time.
I
last
saw.
night.
I'm,
was fun. It was
I'm
a good time.
excited to schedule a day for us to
Yeah,
play it.
I had fun with it.
It's so bad that those games.
I brought the right amount of chaos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so bad that simple games like that have to me been more fun than shit that's been coming out at a AAA level.
Yeah,
Now give it does matter who you play with.
That.
It is
Yes.
very important. But so on the breaking of Switch 2, give me a game that you're anticipating they're going to announce with this, because you obviously know they're going to have to announce, besides obviously Mario Kart, there's got to be some other
Pokemon
things.
Legends.
You thinking probably? Oh, that's true. Have they announced that that's going to come out for only this, or do you think it's going to be on both?
I think that's gonna be part of their pitch. If it's coming out in 2025, it's gotta be part of the pitch.
That's true. I didn't think about that.
Because there has been no info about that game since its release.
That's also true. I didn't think about
So
that.
for them to keep it that under wraps, it has to be like, hey, we're releasing it for this. It's gonna have updated graphics and stuff like that.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. I didn't think about that.
I would assume some version of single player Mario game.
I'm
I
curious
know they
because
just
I
came out with that like
wonder
Mario and Luigi something or
that
other.
too.
Like,
Yeah, because that last year was Mario Wonder. They just dropped a Mario and Luigi. I don't really know the concept of it because I thought it was an RPG at first because they did the remake of Mario RPG.
of Mario, Super Mario RPG.
Uh,
Yeah, I would assume. I don't know if it'll be like a platformer, like 2D platformer, like the traditional style, or they'll go with that more like 3D style.
I
That
think
they
if they
also
do, it's going to be 3D because they've dropped.
Well, they always have that one like game for like they had what was it Super Mario was it Sunshine for one,
For
they had Odyssey
GameCube,
for the Switch,
Galaxy
they had
for
Galaxy for the Wii, right? Was it the
yeah,
Wii that had the Galaxy?
Galaxy
Yeah,
had 1 and 2 because you had the Wii had Galaxy and then the Wii U had Galaxy 2.
Galaxy 2. So they, and obviously Super Mario 64 was
Yeah.
the first like kind of 3D single player. But then they had like the Super Mario World 3D. So like I don't know if they're gonna revisit that style or if they're gonna go.
I think just because they released Wonder and then they released the Wii version of the side scroller. I almost want to call it now that it's either going to be another Sunshine that they're going to randomly make a sequel to, or it's going to be Galaxy 3 that they're going to revisit that, or it's going to be an Odyssey 2.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be 2D just because you've had so many in the last. Yeah, I mean, because like I said, Wonder just came out last year, and then I think like a few years prior to that, they did the Mario, Luigi, and all that. That was the Wii U remake they did.
I'm so mad about that.
Oh, what them just
Did I ever tell you about that?
no.
So I bought it thinking that it was a Switch title,
Okay.
not realizing it was the Wii U title. That we had already like because my wife doesn't play a ton of games.
Yeah.
But she'll play like The Sims and she plays Mario games, like the 2D and 3D Mario games. Like the Super Mario World 3D. Like we
Yeah.
played that together a bunch. So I bought the Super Mario World thinking it was a newer title, only to go like we're playing a level and I'm like, this level feels familiar. And then like I play another level and I'm like, we fucking did this before. Like we beat this game. And we did. It's literally $60 fucking dollars for the Wii U game that I had already fucking played.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that kind of irked me a little bit.
See,
I didn't realize.
I got it for Christmas because I never played it on the Wii U. I didn't.
Yeah.
I skipped the Wii U entirely. I didn't do any
Good
of that.
good game, by the way.
Yeah. No, it's been a lot of fun.
But like I didn't need to play it twice.
Yeah.
Like and I didn't need to pay for it twice. I think that's what
Yeah.
and we've had that, that same conversation about how Nintendo shit like never goes on sale. Like ever.
Hell, I picked up
So-
Odyssey like 2 years ago, and that was a launch platform that went on sale finally. It was like, oh, $30 is gonna be as cheap as this gets. Like,
Yeah. I'm shocked they even did that.
yeah. I'm gonna, if I had a guess, only because it's been so quiet and you've had so many new iterations of fighting games come out, it would not be surprised to me if they launch a new Smash Brothers. I think it's
They
about
do
that
it for
time.
they do it for every platform at this
Yeah.
point.
So I wouldn't be surprised if not on launch shortly after.
I say
Yeah,
later in the cycle.
I was gonna say I don't think it'll be launched, but I think it'll be somewhere.
My concern is, are they gonna just bring all the characters from the last one and then add more,
No,
or are they gonna
No.
take
It'll
out
be a
some of the
different roster.
characters? Oh,
they'll
I
take
don't.
out the DLC characters.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I'd almost be fine with them gutting the DLC stuff and then bringing new
because Sora's not coming back. Sora's not
Oh,
coming back for another game.
no, probably there ain't no way they get that twice. But yeah, I just thought
Same
that
thing with
was
like Sephiroth and like
Yeah.
yeah.
Cloud, because he's been in a couple. Like I can see
I
him
think
keeping like
he's been
certain
in.
characters
Hasn't he been in two
since
of the four?
I think since the Wii.
Was he not in
Cloud
the
has been in.
GameCube one? I could have sworn he was in the
No,
GameCube one.
no, that like weird Final Fantasy partnership started on I think on the Wii.
But I'll be interested to see what non-Nintendo stuff they bring over that can actually run, considering they tried Mortal Kombat and it ran like shit.
Yeah,
Which inherently,
I don't know, man. I still think that that's going to be the norm, though.
I do
still
too.
think that they're not really going to run the big titles. I think they're going to stick to their niche, like Nintendo titles.
Yeah.
They might offer some at the lower quality. I mean, again, we're talking like PS4 Pros, not terrible quality.
Yeah.
You know,
it could run Mortal Kombat.
Right? Yes. Like that's
which inherently, if you're buying a Switch to play Mortal Kombat, that's kind of on you.
Yeah, that's...
Hey, as the person who bought Call of Duty for the Wii, it's decent.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing: is that Call of Duty actually ran relatively well on the Wii? Because I had the whole setup, man. I had the fucking fancy like control that like you would put the Wiimotes in, and it was like a gun.
Yeah, I think they just called that one Duty Calls. I don't even think that was Call of Duty. Yeah, that was
Duty Calls. Hey, it ran all right. I remember that was the weird time frame that all the games ran well on almost everything.
It ran well, but you couldn't run, like that kind of thing. It was a good time.
But so on to some oh, this is gonna be rough. So on to some kind of gaming news and kind of just social media news. If you're living under a rock, TikTok got banned for like 16 hours and is in the
Not even.
It was like 14 or 16, I thought.
12.
12.
It was more than 12.
So to kind of preface this, the US government has dictated that TikTok is a national security for us, the people. Even though they won't tell us what it is that the security risk is, other than data that
they couldn't prove anything, but they wanted to ban it anyway.
Yeah,
and then
in true government fashion,
it's a national security risk because China, who's not affiliated with TikTok, was gaining access to our information that the government steals from us every day. So yeah, hey, listen. So naturally, everybody went over to an actual Chinese app
and just gave it for free.
Yeah,
you know what? I fuck with it. I really
it's
do.
really funny though. Like I'm not gonna lie, like the whole process.
The biggest middle finger I think somebody could have just
like, oh, you don't want China to get my information?
Here's
Let me
it
go
for
download
free.
this Chinese app. Yeah.
That's about to be like John Cena learn Mandarin and just join the platform, No, so this is look. We don't really talk about politics on here a lot. We'll joke about politics, but we don't really get political. This is the biggest load of nonsense. It really is. And this is really for the boomers out there who my parents are included in this because, they hear shit like this and they go, "Oh, China doesn't has stuff already. Like everything you enter into, Facebook, Instagram, fucking Wordle, fucking, your Microsoft, Sony, all of them have your data. Your cell phone has your data. It only reason this is an issue is because the US isn't getting a kickback for it. That's what it is. Plain and simple. If it is going to China, which I'm sure it is, I also don't give a shit. You know why? Because I don't do anything that's worth noting. And if you're a government official, maybe just don't have TikTok. Like I have a work cell phone, doesn't have social media on it because it makes sense not to have that. I can't get over it. And oh my God, the court proceedings. If you all haven't watched any of those, they are the most infuriating. Like, how long have you been part of the Chinese Communist Party? Well, sir, I'm Singaporean, so never. It's like,
okay, but you are affiliated with China, right? Even though you just said no.
Yeah,
no, I'm not.
I'm Singaporean. I was in the military in Singapore.
Do you have a Chinese passport? No. Have you ever had a Chinese passport? Also, no.
Like,
So, when did you last use your Chinese passport? Basically, is like how he tried to phrase
yeah.
that like line of. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So we're not actually accomplishing anything.
And it's just, I don't know, man. And to top it all off, so they do this ban. I didn't know I was gonna lose more than TikTok, because Marvel fucking Snap is apparently part of this debacle.
That's weird.
Yes.
So I still haven't gained access back to that yet, and who knows when. But so basically, TikTok went offline for about 12 plus hours, and they're back online as of this recording at 12 a.m. on January 20th. I think it was a 90-day extension, which basically means somebody's bought it. That's the whole premise of this, is somebody has bought this, and my guess is probably Meta or it's Musk. And what I guarantee it is that TikTok has now changed their algorithm, because that's what really they don't like, is the algorithm of TikTok. You can make TikTok anywhere else, and it's the same. Yeah, it's a better algorithm. If you don't believe me, that's just why nobody likes Instagram or Facebook Reels, because it sucks. The algorithm's terrible.
I mean, don't get me wrong. My Instagram reels are an interesting place to be.
Yeah.
And the comment section is definitely entertaining more often than not. But like I know, it's funny because you mentioned like the boomers, and it's funny because like a lot of people are like, I was on Facebook and it's like, oh, maybe you should spend more time getting off of social media. They say from their social media accounts, but like, it's like, listen, it's more than just like the goofy dancing app, right? Like a lot of small businesses did some really great marketing on TikTok. A lot of music artists got recognized from TikTok. Like it's more than just like okay, social media is its own conversation. We can all have conversations about the issues that revolve around social media and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, is it kind of funny to make fun of like the stupid people that are on that app? Yes, but it's funny to make fun of all the stupid people on every app.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's not just TikTok that they're located.
But like it really does come down to man, isn't it interesting how the government just like totally came together on this conversation, but they can't come together on like
Anything
any other
else?
conversation?
Healthcare, welfare, fucking homeless veterans. Nope. TikTok's the issue. Go fuck yourself. I can't.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Minimum wage is not an issue, but TikTok is.
And here's the other fucked up thing about this, and I promise those are watching, this will probably be the most political we ever get, and I hope, in this entirety of our existence. Is this is an issue, but the Congress people that have stock options in companies outside that they make decisions on aren't. Like, I'm sorry, you shouldn't be able to have stock options and stuff that are affected by votes you give on a regular basis. That's just, shouldn't be able to do that.
I'll never forget the meme, and I do love it. Of the like, I really wish my Congress people wore patches on their suit jackets, like the fucking NASCAR, just to see who they're sponsored by. Like, who are you taking money from? This way, I know where your vote is supposed to be going, because then there's no surprises.
Yeah.
Like, at least just be upfront with it. You're already fucking us out of everything else. Like, just give us. And this is across the board, people. So, like, if you feel one way about one side and one side about the other, like, it's both sides, man.
Yeah, red, blue, doesn't fucking matter.
Those motherfuckers go to dinner and laugh at fucking us out of money as they, like, pretend to hate each other.
You
like,
all think WWE's fake. Just wait until I tell you how none of this shit in politics matter. They're all on the same side. It's all
that insider trading shit. There was just as many left as there was right, and vice versa. Like, it's
and then to pivot into gaming, hence why I'm kind of talking about this, is now they've officially announced Tencent is affiliated with the Chinese government / military. If you're wondering who that is, and it's understandable that not everybody would know who this parent company is, this is a company that is over tons of gaming companies. And to name a few, they are the parent company for Activision and Blizzard, so your World of Warcraft and your Call of Duty. They are the parent company to Lion, as it what is it? Baldur Gates company.
Larian.
They are parent company to that. They are parent company to Roblox. They are parent company to Epic Games, so your Fortnite. Also to Valorant and League of Legends, which I could digress on that being canceled, but so all these games that this company has been declared a military asset to, that for all I know they've tried to ban TikTok now. I couldn't imagine that this isn't possibly next. I don't know. We're in a weird time right now where the people's opinion don't matter, and government officials realize that they're in charge and it shouldn't be that way. So do with that information what you will. We will move on, but I will leave you with this. The countries that tend to ban media outlets from their citizens are rarely ever the good guys. Just take that with a grain of salt. All right, let's move on before I spend another hour on this shit. My wife asked me, she's like, "Yeah, I'm surprised I haven't heard you talk about this." I go, "Because if I started, I won't stop." And for her sake, I just don't want to do that to her. So because we haven't done one of these in a while, I want to do a game, our usual, 60-second draw to see if you can figure out who the fuck I'm thinking about. I got some good ones tonight. I think I'm gonna stump all three of you for like the 12th week in a row.
Who's the third of us?
It's me.
You said you're gonna stump all three of you, and
Yeah.
I was like,
I'm gonna be stumped too. It's the Chinese agent that's watching our video.
Yeah.
Gonna get him.
Crunchy.
So, if you've never tuned in and you're wondering what game we play, I pick a character among medias. I pick a game character, a comic character, and a wrestler. And the goal is to see if these two can figure out who it is I'm thinking of. So, who would like to go first?
I'll go first.
Ooh, stepping it up. All right. So, I'm going to preface this a little bit for you. Okay. So, this specific character has a multitude of versions of himself. There is one in particular that I'm looking for.
Jesus Christ. All right.
You will get it if you can figure out who the character is. You will figure out the persona I'm looking for.
Okay.
I promise you that. If I were to be given this character's name, it would be on like the list of personas that I would go down.
Okay.
So, let me get my stopwatch. Come on, Boomer, figure out how to use technology. I hate that I reorganized my phone, and I haven't gotten used to where I've put everything. There we go. All right, you ready?
Yep.
Go.
DC and Marvel.
Marvel.
Mutant.
No.
Super Strength.
Yes.
Do their personalities does the alternate versions of them have to do with color?
Yes.
Is it a Hulk?
No.
Fuck. Marvel colors. Fuck. Is it a Goblin?
Yes.
Red Goblin.
Got it.
Let's go.
So I picked that, and then I because usually when I do these, I have to remind myself a little bit. I go to Wikipedia and kind of pull up their synopsis to have in front of me. There's really not one for Red Goblin because he's not like inherently a long character.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, once he gets Norman, he'll figure it out. Like, there's only so many that colors he could go with that eventually he figured it out.
I'm like, color character, Hulk or Goblin? It's one or the other. Yeah. Fun fact, I had a weird interaction with a homeless man that had to do with Red Goblin.
Okay.
Oh, I gotta know.
I
gotta know now.
Yeah.
So I went to a comic near the local college,
Okay.
right? So I'm looking for manga, not really into comics at that point. Not really looking for comics at that point. Holmes dude comes in, probably high as hell, and he just wants to know about fucking Green Goblin. And my dumbass just led into the bit because I want to keep him at the door because the guy who's like owning the shop, he wants to like kick him out, but he's too busy like ringing up other people. And I go on a fucking tangent about the Red Goblin because he kept picking up the issues. I'm like, is this fucking Doc Ock? And it's like I just see the Red Goblin on the cover, but he's not the Green Goblin. Yes and no.
But
And he just
he's
kept
gobbling
going.
these nuts.
I don't know why I became that person.
Or there you
Yeah,
go.
fuck.
I feel like we haven't had a win in a while, so you know, look at you
Let's go.
getting that red. You got it quicker than I thought you would. Even with getting it being a color based thing, because Red Goblin's
Oh,
only
I don't know
like
that
2
mu-
issues,
I don't know that many.
so
It was either Red Hulk or Red Goblin.
yeah.
It was gonna be one or the other.
All right, Olas, we got your.
All right, I'm
we
gonna
got
bring us back to fucking up here. So
we
let's
we
go.
got you. We got your game character here. All right, you ready?
Sure.
Go.
Male or female?
Male.
Okay. Recent game.
A version of this game is recent, but this character is not in it.
Oh. Is it
Multiple
a fighting
titles.
game?
No.
Ah. Hold on. Wait. Multiple titles. Have they been in multiple titles, or is it just one like a character from
So
one
this
of these
character
titles?
has been in a total of, it looks like,
Uh-oh.
7 versions of this game.
Fuck.
I will preface this. Out of those 7, 4 of them are the same game. Inherently. They're different versions of the same game.
This doesn't help.
Yeah, I was like, oh wait, can I think of is it like Pokemon related?
It is.
Is it Ash?
No.
Well, the fuck.
Come
They're two.
on. It's
Ash is
2
not
different people, so don't act like they're the same person.
Ash is not a
fuck,
Pokemon game character.
I forget that. Right.
There's-
I was thinking of
I'm going to give you a hint. There was a theme to both of your all's people.
Is it the
Oh.
red
Yeah.
gym?
It's red.
Yeah,
Oh, it's Red. Red the character.
yeah. I forgot that they were like colored, like
Oh no, they're
named.
named after the characters of the. No, after a certain point, you have red and blue, and green
Yeah.
being the female character.
Yeah.
Then this crystal.
Yeah,
It's like
they
it's
were
like
named
gold and
after the
crystal.
like games. Yeah. That's
Gold, silver, and crystal, and then you start naming them like May, Brandon, and then it goes Dawn, Barry.
So
I don't fucking know after that.
red is in.
I'm shocked I pulled that out because I didn't play a ton of Pokemon. I played the Game Boy versions.
Red hasn't been in a game since fucking
He's been in 23 games.
Okay. If you're counting Smash Brothers.
No. Red, grew. Red, green,
Red,
blue,
green,
yellow,
blue.
gold, silver, crystal, fire red, leaf green, heart gold, soul silver, black 2, white 2, sun, moon, ultra sun, ultra moon, let's go Pikachu, let's go Eevee, stadium 2, Coliseum, good grief, Pokemon XD, and Masters XD. So the most recent one he'd have been in would have been Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon.
Yes. How is he not in Smash?
That's a good question. It doesn't preface him in Smash.
Because I think they just call him Pokemon.
Yeah, it's
Trainer.
Pokemon Trainer.
But it's red. But
well,
it's red. Though.
Yes, which is why my brain went Ash, and then I went, no, that's not the video
Ash
game.
and Red are 2 different characters. Fun fact: Ash's dad officially canonically killed himself because he couldn't be a Pokemon trainer.
Oh yeah, once you get cheated on by Mr. Mime, like I'd kill myself too.
They officially put this like in a data book, like in a Japanese data book, that he was so depressed that he killed himself.
Jesus.
That's why he was never around in the beginning of Pokemon, because he was already dead.
Got him. All right. So I just so that there's no confusion, the red thing doesn't portray to the wrestler.
Hulk Hogan.
It was just I thought it was funny to do two characters that
Red
had
Sonja.
red in it. So it has nothing to do with this character, I don't think. If it does, it was on accident, but I'll pretend.
Yeah,
like
guys,
I did
there's a color theme. This guy doesn't like people that have color. It's Hogan. We got it. It's great.
Jesus Christ.
All right, are you guys ready?
Yeah.
For
No, it's Hulk Hogan because he wears the red hat.
no, it's because he voted red.
No, that's Kane.
I do.
Also Undertaker.
What was it we called him and Undertaker as brothers of
The Brothers of Insurrection.
brothers of
The
insurrection?
brother.
Oh god.
It's gotta be Kane.
All right. Your time starts now.
Male or female?
Male.
TNA?
Yes.
Currently TNA.
No.
Work for WWE.
Yes.
Held the Impact Championship.
Or like TNA, well, you know,
TNA, Impact, Global,
the main champion.
main belt.
I don't think he did.
All right, eliminates AJ Styles. X Division Championship.
I also don't think he did that either. If
Is
he
it a
did, I
belt?
do apologize. I'm not saying where he held anything.
Anything in WWE.
No.
Fuck.
Did he wrestle in WWE or did he work like?
Twice, yes. 2003 to
wrestled.
4 and then 2005.
Worked in AEW.
No.
Does he currently work?
No, he retired as of 2022. Or technically 2019, but he had a one-off in 2022, but hasn't been seen since.
Shit. That fucked me up. Part of Aces and Eights.
No.
Damn it. Part of Main Event Mafia.
You got me on that one. I don't remember if he was or not. It would
Is it
not.
Matt Morgan?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Okay, so he wasn't. He was like kind of in Main Event Mafia.
Like
yeah.
like a henchman almost or something. Like I don't remember him
Yeah.
being like a founding member. But
No, he wasn't a
No,
founding
he was a
member.
founding member. So
But it was like they were kind of trying to make him like the next big guy.
yeah.
So
yeah.
they started affiliating him with the
I mean,
Main Event
they pushed
Mafia.
him pretty hard through most of TNA.
So game plan was I was gonna ask as many quick fire questions as I can because I knew Olas knew TNA more than I did. So I'm just going down
Narrow it
fucking
down.
stables.
What
It
gave
was-
it away that you made you think it was Matt Morgan?
Because you couldn't remember if he was in Main Event Mafia or not.
Okay.
And Matt Morgan was like on that weird cusp of kind of, but maybe, but not really.
Yeah, because like I remember
like
him
even
being
I'm not
affiliated.
1,000% sure. Yeah.
So next group would have been Fortune. I would have just went down every fucking.
Every
I would have went down every weird.
God, what,
TNA
Fortune,
stable.
Well,
that was-
and the
was-
time frame also threw it off because I was like, oh yeah, Matt Morgan did wrestle up until like 2004-ish or 5, yeah, in WWE before he went to TNA.
And had
So-
had a relatively successful career in TNA up until just having nothing.
Until it went flat.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was, but he did something where he like.
So
did
he
not help
he was in
himself.
Fortune. I didn't know that.
Oh shit.
So,
That's
yeah,
cool.
2010,
yeah.
2011. I forgot that he was in
Yeah,
that.
that's when he was getting lost in the shuffle of like, hey, remember when we were gonna push this guy like through the roof?
Yeah.
And then
then-
said nah.
AJ Styles, Kazarian, Robert Roode, James Storr, Douglas Williams. Douglas Williams. Oh god.
Doug Williams.
Big old Doug.
All right. Well, then that leads us into the wrestling portion of our program.
Hey, quick shout out to us too, man. We went 3 for 3 on that.
That's,
I know.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't think that's
No.
ever happened.
No,
well, yeah, I'm pretty sure it has.
Good old clean
early,
sweep.
maybe.
I'll have to try harder next time.
no. Listen, hey, you had some solid picks. Like, I'm not knocking you for like, We just happen to really get
here's
it
the
this
thing.
time.
What's tough is like I could absolutely be an asshole and give
Yes.
you like
Oh, yeah.
super obscure like
Fucking Captain Britain.
yeah like shit like
Still pissed about
you
that.
know who would do something like that.
It's only been months, but
Um,
yeah, that's
and especially like the wrestler rabbit hole is a very like I could pull just some random. I try to keep it like AEW, TNA, WWE guys because like yeah, none
I
of
don't
you.
think you've ever picked a single AEW wrestler.
You know, I want to say you're wrong, but then it means I'd have to go back and watch film. And you probably are right.
Yes.
I think I've picked people that have worked in AEW but have been everywhere.
Yes. I think the closest you've gotten is like Miro.
Yeah, probably. But
I
all right.
think that was mine.
Actually, yeah, I think that was yours because it was we did the
Oh yeah.
yeah. That's
Yeah, it's tough because there's just not a lot of time.
because even some of the AEW guys
Like,
could be kind of obscure because you know some of them don't have a lot
well,
of history.
yeah, if they didn't work in like WWE or TNA, like their track record is not.
Darby Allin 2.0.
Yeah. Well, 2.0 worked in
Jamie
NXT.
Hayter.
Yeah. I know Darby Allin worked
Julia
for
Hart, Brody King.
Evolve. But like beyond that, I couldn't really remember where he
I
was.
thought about giving you guys a
Tiger.
Lucha Underground one, but
Killshot. Prince.
it's
Puma.
actually the one I thought was doing Killshot.
But since we're all wearing red, let's talk about Netflix and how we're so proud to be on Netflix.
All right,
I'm kidding.
let me pause the VOD real quick. Go ahead and don't do the USA hat. I have a feeling you have it near your. I knew it. I knew it.
Right now, when we talk about Hogan,
The second I saw him searching, I was like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
he saw it, like-
he's gonna pull that USA hat out."
it's like
I was
fucking
trying to see if
Mjolnir
I had like my
came to him.
TNA shirt over here or something.
No, it's fine. I just looked up and saw red. I'm like, cool. Bet.
So I have like a reddish hoodie and I thought about wearing it.
That'd have been really
I didn't
fun.
realize we were synchronizing.
In all fairness, I didn't start in this.
Yeah.
I started in a Spider-Man hoodie, and then it got a little warm in here.
Yeah, I'm
So
actually pretty warm myself, but
So
still not
Netflix.
Second week at Netflix, because I don't remember if we covered the first
We
week.
didn't. I don't think we recapped.
don't think we
So
did.
the last time we recorded was right before the
Netflix.
first
Netflix.
episode.
It was post Saturday Night Main Event, pre Netflix.
Yeah.
We had discussed the first AEW shows on Max,
which has been nice. I've been enjoying catching up on some of the AEW stuff, especially what do they call them? The classic, right? The Gold Classic. Is that what it is?
Continental Classic.
Continental Classic.
The C2.
Yeah, it's been a lot of. I will say, Osprey has lost way more matches than I thought he was going to.
Yeah.
Like to what Darby, he also lost to who's the giant ass guy?
Brody King.
Brody King. There you go. Yeah. Looks great in all the matches. I just was surprised to see and that's cool. Like it's nice to see. As weird as that sounds, nice to see that he just isn't winning every match that he's in. Or as I call it, the John Cena style. But no, it's been nice catching up with Max with that. So I do appreciate that they've started doing that, and they also have a lot of the 2019 stuff on there too, which has been cool.
The 2019 pay-per-views.
Yeah.
So you can rewatch Cody Rhodes come out and destroy the throne.
Yeah, and
which
then
is a weird visual.
And then go to WWE like a year or two later.
Yeah,
2021.
Yeah, it was like 2 years later.
2 years later.
22?
Was it 22? I have 21 in my head for some reason, but I could be wrong.
21 or 22. No, it had to be 22 because 21 is back from pandemic, and I think they were in Florida.
Yeah. Gotcha.
And he came out in Texas. They were in Texas for that. Because they did the the giant star that AJ Styles cut his head on.
Oh, sheesh.
I don't know why I remember that bit.
Yeah. But yeah, so I think the Netflix has been going pretty well so far. I know there's been a lot of complaints, especially the first episode where people were underwhelmed, and I think the mistake is that this wasn't a pay-per-view.
No, it's funny enough. AEW and WWE did the two ends of the spectrum. WWE made a show that didn't feel like it connected to anything. It felt like a one-off.
Yeah.
While AEW on Max did a regular show. Like there was no surprises, just a regular plain episode of Dynamite.
Yeah.
They should have met in the middle for both shows where you have surprises, but I should be able to tell where everyone is in the company and where it's going from that. It felt like a bunch of stuff ended at
Yeah.
the Netflix show.
Yeah. The Undertaker spot, could have done without that.
So like a solid comparison would be, so somebody else posted this, but like this past week's show for Raw, so the second episode of Raw on Netflix
Should have been the debut.
was a little bit better in regards of you actually showcased all of your talents and you weren't just relying on like, legends and big moments and stuff like that. And like, the world champ was on the show, which that was kind of an odd thing to leave out for the first show.
I didn't need Dwayne, I didn't need John Cena, and I didn't need Hulk Hogan to tell me how great it is to be on Netflix. I didn't need Triple H to tell me how great it was to be on Netflix.
I was fine with Cena's because it wasn't just that.
And it was him like declaring for the Rumble.
Yeah.
He's the only one that gets mostly a pass. Everyone else,
Triple H, I also get because with being, I agree it was unneeded, but I do understand it.
Dragged.
It did. The Rock absolutely did not. I had to save that for NXT and let him go do that shit on NXT because he did.
He still fucked
and
up.
he still was bad at it. Hulk Hogan coming out to a roaring boos. So much so that there wasn't enough piped in cheers that you could have done to make that go away.
No, it got funnier because Netflix auto subtitles. So in subtitles, whenever you watch it, it says crowd booing. And he then went on to say it was because they were in a liberal city, because they were in Los Angeles.
I mean, that's probably true.
Just on before that.
Yeah.
So it had nothing to do with that.
Undertaker literally had Trump on his podcast, and he still got cheered.
Sir, it's not about your political beliefs.
It's about, I mean, like about
the racism.
So many, and then all the stories of just how much he lies that has come out over the past like couple of years, like all the unnecessary lies that he has told.
You're just
it has nothing to do with that. Like
my favorite meme of it though was a guy on TikTok came out and was just like, "You guys should be ashamed of yourself. This man's given everything for this company. He's done years of labor and service in the name of wrestling." He goes, "All of you owe Jimmy Hart an apology."
Yeah,
waving the American flag like a good.
Yeah, and I feel bad for Jimmy Hart because like he had to stand there and they weren't booing him.
It had nothing to do with you.
Don't be friends with a racist. You should have known that shit was gonna happen. Everyone back there should have known that shit was gonna pop off.
Yeah, I don't understand what that meeting's like. Of like, yeah, let's this guy's been super cool in the media here lately.
Why would you buy into the beer after knowingly it had a public dispute about him firing a black woman?
That
like it didn't help.
I can't imagine that deal will be renewed.
Woo, it is the woo energy.
Yeah.
That's exactly how I view this. So I can't like, oh man, AEW did the same shit with Ric Flair, but at least that they got more out of it because Ric Flair was only there for Sting.
Yeah.
So there was a monetary gain from both parties.
Isn't it wild? Sorry, I shouldn't interrupt you. Go ahead.
No, this just seemed weird. It was a weird placement.
Isn't it weird?
I think they just thought that like Hogan was gonna get Like, oh, it's Hogan. Hey.
No,
And it's
not
like,
anymore.
No.
Not anymore.
Not in L.A.
Yeah, especially
That was
not
a
in
great.
LA.
Maybe he got booed in his own in
Yeah,
Florida.
it's Florida as well.
That was a
It's
WrestleMania crowd, so that was as wrestling as you're gonna get for WWE. Like,
it's so weird to me that of all the wrestlers that we have lost in the last few years,
Hulk Hogan's still
that
alive.
somehow, some way,
Why can't he
Ric
be all
Flair and
bored?
Hulk Hogan are still kicking. Like, that blows my mind to me that these guys have outlived certain people with the lifestyles that they've lived.
The amount of times Ric Flair has died, like, should have died.
Yeah.
Like, there should be a Final Destination movie just based on his life. Death has just been unlucky like a motherfucker.
Fucking whipping. Back. Oh,
This
God.
motherfucker
Speaking of
comes
Ric
around.
Flair, shout out to fucking Bronson Reed talking about giving Ric Flair a bunch of tsunamis
Yeah.
for like
Oh,
final like
Crush that man. Jesus.
But yeah, Raw and Netflix have been okay. The commercials are oddly placed. I want more I do want more wrestling in this.
you know what throws me off? And it happened to me twice now where they have like a commercial break and then like 5 minutes later they have another commercial break, but then they don't have one for a while. So
Yeah.
then I'm like, oh, okay. Maybe they just needed to get some shit in like in the middle of the show just to get it out. Like I don't know how
It's
their
like Twitch
structure is.
ads, where you just
Yeah, like yeah, we're just gonna bunch a couple of them here and then like fuck off.
I
And
wish
I'm like, okay.
I wish they did what AEW. Well, I don't think because AEW has that same problem. Never mind. Because if you watch AEW on HBO, you're gonna
No
get
picture in
commercials.
picture. Yeah.
No, it doesn't do picture in picture for HBO for the HBO thing. It
Yeah,
just
which
goes
is
full on commercial.
upsetting because they do it on
Fight.
TBS.
No, I'm
And
talking
Fight.
about fight where
Yeah.
there is no commercial.
it's just
It is
promo.
just it continues. You will hear the broadcast team go, "We'll be right back," and you can watch it in picture, and then it just keeps playing the match regular.
Is that how people keep getting all those like weird
Yes,
audio of like Taz and fucking
yes,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
how that leaks because they get full audio of everything.
It's fucking amazing.
So if you ever wondered, and they're still doing it on Fight.
Hmm.
So
No, I hope that never changes because
that
those are
shit's
so entertaining to
hilarious.
me. Yeah.
Well, the UK doesn't get HBO, so you're stuck. So they're stuck with Fight.
Excuse me.
Good. Let's hope it continues. Keep sending those clips to Promo Joe.
Yeah.
Promo Joe.
Speaking of Joe and Taz,
Oh,
Samoa
yeah.
Joe is back in AEW. I guess
He'd been gone
Twisted
since
Metal wrapped up soon?
Yeah. Oh, is that why he'd been gone?
Yeah.
Was it okay, gotcha.
Twisted Metal 2 was filming
Gotcha.
or anything else. Thinking about it, because this ties into wrestling and gaming, fucking we forgot about Suicide Squad. They released because their whole shit blew up in their face.
Oh, the
They
game.
Yeah, they released the ending.
Oh my god. I know.
They released the
I
ending of how that game was supposed to go.
So, hold up, before he goes into this. If you actually give a shit about this game, this does kind of spoil the main focal point of this fucking game. So,
This game was free for PlayStation users after it announced that it's shutting down their servers. It's fucking dead. Who cares?
I was gonna say I don't think it was
Long-
well received enough for anybody to really care about spoilers.
Long story short, the entire Justice League minus Wonder Woman were all clones. And it was all part of Batman's plan, which the team, the Suicide Squad, were not a part of.
it just happened to work out.
Yes. It is the dumbest, most contrived. It was all a dream kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
Oh no.
And the only reason I tie it back to that is because Samoa Joe voices King Shark in that game.
That's right, he does. Poor guy.
It sparked a fucking light bulb in my head.
Yeah, I
Jesus
remember seeing it on
Christ.
TikTok between
And they
Chinese
do it,
propaganda.
and they do it, and they do it in a slideshow. It's not even like
Not
a
even
cartoon
animated. It's just a
slideshow.
slideshow. Yeah, they drew it
Yeah,
up, threw it in there.
of just fucking Batman punching Brainiac. Like, all right, here's your fucking ending. We don't care. You didn't give us money.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Enjoy Deathstroke. Who cares?
Which is bad because he actually looks like one of the better characters to play as in that game too.
Yeah. But instead, we got fucking Twink Joker
Tweet
and Mrs.
Joker,
Freeze.
Mrs. Freeze. God. All right.
But yeah, back
Yeah.
to wrestling. AEW's on the right track. Still need to fix some areas. Darby Allin's going to be out for months.
Oh, did he get injured?
No,
Can we talk about
he's going back. He's redoing.
he's trying to do
Everest.
the Mount Everest thing. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my god, this guy's gonna
So that
die.
delays. So
Let's just hope he doesn't get hit by any buses in the
Yeah.
meantime and fucking
he needs to stay out of New York. Just stay out of New York.
Can we since we brought up AEW, can we talk about how like it just feels like it's in a weird direction. Like I feel like they're just taking a lot of odd directional choices that I just don't.
We're here for it.
Well, that's what happens
Huh?
when there's no real boss.
Sometimes you gotta let it play out.
I'm all for that.
I'm also kidding.
Yeah. I'm
Letting
all
it
for
play
letting
out.
certain things play out, but like when we're relying on Jericho as like a prominent player and
Learning tree.
you know, we're throwing MJF into this weird thing with Jarrett and like
I can't say nothing. I kind of fuck with the him and Jarrett thing. I don't know
No,
why.
I don't like it because it feels
It-
like if they didn't bring up the fact that MJF said he's coming back for his title, and then immediately start this bullshit.
Yeah.
yeah.
Because what does that have to do with him getting back his title? This should be everyone's gunning for Moxley. Like he comes out, he does that. The only reason he's still champion is because of Death Riders,
Yeah.
and they're like I would better like it's Swerve, it's Hangman, it's MJF. It's Joe, and it's just the Death Riders jumping them before they can get to Moxley.
And like I mean that's its own, you know, the Death Riders thing is its
The Dick
own
Riders.
bit of a nightmare
Dick
right now and
Riders.
it's crazy to me because even like the hardcore faithful on like Twitter are not in
A
love
fan of this.
with any of this that's going on. They were really hoping that Moxley dropped the title, which is so crazy to see the 180. But it just shows like how, I guess how
But he's been
not
champion
well
for a time.
received. Yeah,
Like after a while, how many times can you do the break Mox glass
yeah,
for the fucking AEW championship?
yeah. When in doubt, just throw the
Get the
title
belt.
on Mox for a while.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, and
So
it's
it's like-
rough because that's not fair to him either.
Yeah.
Because it's like, all right, well, we're in a rough spot, and we know that you'll take the ball and run with it, kind of thing. But like,
Yeah, it was cool when he won it from Danielson. It was a big shock moment. I have more questions than answers. Why
Yes.
is Marina Shafir not going for the AEW Women's Championship? Because that should fall in line with the whole they don't fuck with what AEW. Mariah May should be the antithesis of what they are.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mariah, like
It's almost
get
should
we're
be a
trying-
bloodline thing where you're going for total control
exactly.
across
Instead
the
of her
board.
carrying around the AEW men's title, she should be just showing up, choking out Mariah May whenever she gets a chance.
Yep.
But we already have the Australia show coming up, and we have to get to Tony versus Mariah. It shouldn't be that way.
Yeah.
It
That
should
seems
feel
to be
like
having its own issues too, though.
yeah, that's poor promotion. It sucks, but
Because from what I've seen, and please correct me on anything I'm not 100% sure on,
it's
they
doing
had
poorly.
they had a stadium
Yep.
show originally,
Yep,
and
drop
then they weren't
switched
moving
it out.
units because they haven't been advertising it properly, and so they moved it from a stadium to like a regular arena.
Yes.
Now it's supposed to be on like a weird delay. Like it's not going to be live, it's going to be recorded. It was supposed to be a pay-per-view, but now it's just going to be like a Dynamite episode or like
Oh, no.
something along the lines of that or like I'm sorry, it's supposed to be like a special.
It was supposed to be a special for Max. Something like their equivalent to Saturday main event.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Not pay-per-view level.
which is
but
which is fine. I'm all for that. Like having like a special type of show type of thing. That's all fine. But now they were like talking about airing it on TBS or TNT, but they're having it's the same Saturday as NBA All-Star Weekend.
Ooh.
So
Oh, no.
now instead of it airing at 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock when it was supposed to, now it's going to air at like midnight.
Yeah, that's weird. It
So
was
it's not only is it recorded and not live, but now it's airing
at a weird
at,
spot.
in a weird spot. Like those numbers are not going to do well,
Yeah.
and that's a shame because like I want to think that they're building that show. I mean, obviously Tony Storm and Mariah May has its own like fantastic
I'm hoping
story
that's the
for
main
it.
event, honestly.
Yeah.
I would assume probably.
It's AEW, so I don't expect a women's match to main event.
That's fair.
That's what I'm saying. If this is WWE, then yes. AEW,
Yeah.
they're getting somewhat better with their women's division. They finally did the first Casino Battle Royal for the women, which was okay. A little clunky at the finish.
Yeah.
Megan Bain re-debuted for AEW. She looked strong. If you're not caught up to New Japan, she was in Stardom for a while.
Yeah.
I don't think there's actually confirmation that she signed with AEW though. But if she's here and there,
I thought they did have like a thing for her.
no, I don't think I've seen anything saying that she's officially signed.
Okay.
It's been a toss up of whether she's been signed for months, she recently got signed, or she isn't signed and they're just doing a promotion with Stardom.
Because I could have sworn she's been signed for a while, or at least that's what I thought. But so
So
that's up in the air too.
yeah, no one knows what her deal is.
No, I hope they get whatever direction they're trying to go, they get it figured out. I know Olash joked a little bit before we got live that it kind of made sense why there was people in place that could keep Jericho from making storylines and creative decisions the way he does in AEW, because not all of them are good, and you 100% need somebody that'll tell you if an idea is shit.
Yeah, I think they need. I think
They just
Tony
need a new
needs some
team.
help with some checks and balances. If Tony doesn't want to be the bad guy, he needs that one guy that'll like kind of hammer the point home so that he doesn't have to take the heat from it. And that's not to
Shane
say like
McMahon.
yes, absolutely. Best in the world, Shane McMahon. Like that's who they need. No, but I mean like they just need like it there just needs to be more of a structure of like, hey, I just don't like this. Let's maybe pivot this or how can we tweak this to make this better? And I feel like we're not getting there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I mean, listen, everybody goes through we've had that conversation about the peaks and valleys and all that other shit, but like this is in a weird just a weird spot of like, man, I am so uninterested at the worst time too, because now we have better access to the shows.
Yeah.
And it's like, fuck.
Now
Like
I just need SmackDown access. That's
it
all.
was a trudge to get through parts of Dynamite at times, and I'm like, fuck, I can't.
Yeah.
I can't. Like a lot of this is hard, and I don't want it to be that bad. Although, fun fact, speaking of like the whole streaming and like Netflix and Max and all that stuff, uh Netflix, I guess if you're like watching it live and then you click out of it and go back into it, it just picks up from where you left off. I didn't know that. So, I'm like, "Oh wow." Cuz like I was watching it at work. I was watching Raw at work and it was like, "Oh, Gunther's coming out next." But I was leaving. So I was like, "Oh, I'm going to miss that. I'll go back and watch it, later."
Yeah.
And then I got home, resumed watching, and then Gunther came out, and I was like, "Wow, they must have fucked up because like they said he's coming out next." Blah 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 blah. So then it was like, all right, we're gonna cut to commercial, and then it immediately snapped into the next portion, and I was like, that's weird. Did I just get to skip ads? That's awesome. So fun fact, I guess on playbacks you don't deal with the ads,
which is
Yeah.
which is how
good to know.
it was for like when Hulu Live TV had it. If you watched it live, you had the ads, but if you watched it on the playback the next day, you didn't have any.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So I kind of figured that's how they were gonna do it.
Yeah, but so stupid me. So if anybody gets stuck on that, by the way, like all you have to do, there is a live button like towards the end of the scroll bar. If you
Yeah.
just hit the live button, it'll snap you.
Well, that's what. So
to-
I have to mute our podcast chat because sometimes you all are able to watch it ahead of me.
Oh,
It's like
Ah.
I'll have to like because I'll be doing dad stuff and like I'll start it live and then 9 o'clock hits and I gotta get kiddo to bed and stuff like that, and so
Right.
I'm like I go I'll read this when Raw's over and I'll see what they say. Which luckily when we were talking about like the Penta stuff, we were all kind of relatively in the same thing of like, oh, okay, yeah, this is but speaking of which, Penta made his to me what felt like a very authentic WWE debut against Chad Gable, who I think was a good opponent. I was very thrilled with this match. I like Penta. We were talking about this a little bit, but I've because you get the AEW people and the WWE people of like, oh, this guy's so great, and it's like I've watched Penta since Lucha Underground. Like I think the only time I haven't really caught Penta's career was the TNA run. That was really the only time I never really caught much of his stuff. But it was good to see him have a successful debut and his kind of heartfelt little speech afterwards of enjoying to be here, and it really didn't hit me with that, oh, this is my real home kind of thing, but it was a, hey, like this is a dream to be here and do this, which I think is an appropriate way to put that. You can like where you used to work, but this still be kind of the goal, and having his daughters there watching
Yeah, and there was a
him.
lot of weirdness online about people bitching about like, I guess they didn't realize that was his daughter, and they're like, really? They got kids crying in the front row, and I'm like, that's his daughter, bro.
Yeah.
Don't be weird. And then like people took exception to Michael Cole saying "Welcome to the big league" or "big time" or whatever
okay.
he said, and
It is welcome to the big leagues. I don't like that.
I
That shit
don't,
is
but
like
it's, I mean, we
Yes.
can't act that they're on the same level because they're
yes,
not.
because one is a company that's been open for fucking nearly
That
like a
doesn't.
decade.
I understand that, but that doesn't. I get what you're saying, but I think that is part of the point. Is that this is a company that has been running for years and
Yes.
has a portfolio of thousands of stars that they've put up. AEW is a good company and has good talent. It's I would put, if we're doing kind of because we were talking about the TNA deal, where TNA of yesteryears was a little bit more on par with the WWE at that time, whereas now that's not really the case. There are individuals who could go from AEW to the main roster, like you're seeing Penta do. But I would classify WWE as the quote unquote big leagues. Do I think you need to say that? No. I don't think that was necessary. I think that was out of pocket comment that
That's the
didn't
thing.
do anything.
No, you're right on the money. I don't think WWE is a big corporation. They have more eyes on them. They have more budget. They have bigger production. That is true. But in the grand scheme of it, the people that are coming in, this is not like someone coming from high school to the NBA. These
Okay.
are people that have years of experience doing what they do to just mitigate it. Oh, all that's minor leagues. Like
well,
I would say
so
it is.
that analogy doesn't quite work for me only because like say we'll use like the NBA for example. Say somebody played in college for a little bit, didn't get drafted, played overseas, played in the G League and then came up to the NBA, you would say welcome to the big leagues, like welcome to the,
Yeah.
it. So to me, that's kind of the same thing. Again, I don't know that it was necessarily like a huge like, oh, AEW's garbage, guys. Like I don't know that it was necessarily that. I'm sure it was still a dig.
I just
Um,
don't like the comment.
Yeah,
and
I
I
don't
wonder
think
if
it was necessary.
I wonder if part of it was like a hey, you know, obviously like Penta's upset about the Ray Phoenix situation, and so maybe like a small dig without being like a like overly like wink wink nudge nudge kind of thing. Um, yeah, it was unnecessary, but everybody made a bigger deal out of it than it needed to be because that's what the internet does.
Especially wrestling internet.
Well, yeah.
Hey, I did like them. You know, it's. I don't think I've heard a company mention Lucha Underground before. So like,
No,
it's
I
cool.
mean
Cool
obviously
to
they
see
have the
that get a
partnership
nod.
with TNA, so they did mention TNA. They
Yeah,
I think did they mention AAA and yeah.
yeah, both of them.
So like that was cool. And then they were like, "Oh, but they didn't mention AEW." And I'm like, "Yeah, they weren't gonna. Why would
Yeah.
they? Why?"
I think only one person has mentioned AEW once on WWE television.
CM
Sami
Punk.
Zayn.
No, Sami Zayn.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
It's when they did that fucking weird hot tea with Corey Graves, which is
that's
funny.
right. Yeah.
Where you're like, you could ask me anything. You could ask me about AEW.
Ooh.
Like that
Yeah.
wasn't like every person asking him questions wasn't scripted. Fuck off.
Well,
Right.
that's funny though.
That's
That
just
was
dumb.
it was funny. That was funny.
It does remind me of that one time Engel was still the GM and said to Zayn and Owens
TNA still
about like
hiring.
yeah.
First TNA's hiring.
So I thought that was kind of funny. I like little stuff like that here and there, like once in a while.
Hey, Sami Zayn
But
pinning somebody with a blue thunder bomb.
hey, look at that!
Man, 2025 is wild.
It's crazy.
It's almost like that's how that setup should be every time. You know, that
Yeah,
the kick should
do the
lead
kick
into the
into the blue
blue
thunder.
thunder
Yeah,
bomb.
I actually really like that setup. And then
It
so
makes more sense.
my thing too is so we had this conversation in our group chat. I was not thrilled with the Mexican Destroyer.
Mexican Destroyer.
Although I will say, so it was sold really well. Like obviously, Gable is fantastic.
Yeah.
It was sold really well, and it did have a minute to breathe before he went for the cover. And Gable didn't get up and give him one like that fucking Orange Cassidy spot. Like, um, I would be okay like if he used that. Maybe not every match, but if he used that in certain situations to like set up
For
the
the Penta
finish,
driver.
like do that into the pen, like and then pick him up and then do the Penta driver. I'd be okay with that.
But I'm like you, I don't want it for every single match to lead into the Penta driver. I think
Yes.
to really drive home a point of like a difficult match. You know,
Yeah.
like
And it was a lot more competitive of a match than I think people expected a debut match to
wasn't just
be.
a blowout of him just
Yeah.
beating the shit out of Gable the entire time.
Yeah.
Which is good.
For Gable.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't just shit on Chad Gable and like, oh well, here he is to just eat the pin. Like obviously he lost the match, but it wasn't just here's Penta, he's gonna come in, do his moves, get himself over, blah 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 blah. Like they had a back and forth. That was solid.
Yeah. I
And you're
mean,
like,
I think only
wouldn't
really
it be kind of funny if he did lose this match, like in the most fucked
Yeah.
up way possible? Like, oh my god, are they gonna do this? Obviously, they weren't gonna, but you know,
I mean, really the entire match there was only kind of two-ish bad spots. I didn't like the bottom rope leg drop.
the springboard leg
It
drop
just
thing
it
that he
looked
tried to do,
awkward.
yeah.
Uh
I
and
think I
that could be
know why.
timing, that could be just position, you
The
know.
ropes are different from WWE than they
Yes.
are in AEW, so I think that's
Okay.
part of it. So they use, is it AEW that uses the cables and WWE uses like actual ropes or something like that.
It's something like that because Edge was the first person to say something like that. Because when he hit the ropes for the first spear in AEW, it buckled. It gave a different feeling than he was
Yeah.
used to. So I
I
don't
would need more of that.
blame. Yeah, I don't blame anything but the ropes being different because I think he's so used to the ropes being a certain consistency
Yeah.
that
I
when
think
he
it
hit
was
it, he dropped.
I think there was something with, was it like AJ at one point? AJ Styles.
AJ
When
too.
he went to go do a springboard, but like he didn't quite foot the way he needed to because he was so used to how TNA's
Ropes
Octagon
are.
ropes
ropes.
were. Yeah. So like there's that, which so we'll give him that. Obviously, it was a rough spot, but
And then the outside dive that he got more of the ground than I think he got of Gable, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Which, once again, not his fault. It just bad positioning on some of that stuff sometimes can happen. I do like that they brought. I was very curious if they were gonna let him do his arm bar break
Oh,
sacrifice.
that
That's
yeah,
I
what
couldn't
it,
remember.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because I know with WWE it's a bit more of a PG show. Like, are we gonna, let this guy do a quote unquote arm break? Gable sold it really well.
we
I
have
could
Pete
have
Dunne.
sworn.
It's
Yeah, well,
true.
yeah, a lot of
Yeah,
joint manipulation with Pete Dunne.
for some reason, a whole arm feels worse than like you taking my fingers and like.
Well, I mean, the thing with the fingers, like you can actually like rip somebody's shit apart, like
Yeah.
ripping these down the
I say the only reason I don't think it was that crazy that he did it is because remember when they did the Becky Lynch versus Alexa Bliss feud,
Vaguely.
and they used the fact that she has double
She has the
joint.
double joint.
That's true. I did
like
forget
she
about
snapped
that.
her arm.
Yeah, I did forget about that.
So
And it
stuff like
wasn't so much
that.
that I was surprised by it. I like that they let him do it. It was more because some of the times he did it in Lucha Underground, you're like, oh my god, like he might have actually broke this person's arm.
Well, he would like end matches.
Yeah, that was I think he still did the Penta Driver, but that wasn't the main finish. Is he would do the arm break and then they would give up. Because I know he does it to Chelsea Green. I know he did it.
I think that's how the Chelsea Green match ended.
Yeah,
he did that arm breaker, and then that ended the match, if I remember correctly.
But no, I'm happy for it. I immediately went on WWE Shop and considered dropping $70 to.
The mask does look cool
to get his mask because he, to me, besides Rey Mysterio, has one of the best just mask designs. And it's just so different from what you see it like, like I like Rey Phoenix's, but you can obviously see where Rey Phoenix kind of gets some inspiration from Rey Mysterio style. I can't stand Axioms because it just looks like a fucking Power Ranger.
I mean, I will say probably one of my favorite masks was Ultimo Dragons.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh god, that's I wonder if he still wrestles. Is he still?
I don't know.
Or no, I think you and I are thinking of somebody else, or we're thinking of two different people. I'm thinking of somebody from Lucha Underground.
Oh no, I'm thinking of like WCW.
Yeah, which his is good too. Now
Mexico, Japan, Ultimo Dragon.
Who is it I'm thinking of from Lucha Underground?
The original title collector. He was in WCW at one point with like 9 fucking titles.
I think it's Ultimo Dragon.
Drago from Lucha Underground is who I was thinking of.
Okay.
Because I do like his very authentic dragon style mask. I'll put it in
Yeah.
Oh, you got it? Okay.
I was looking for it now.
Yeah, I always liked him in Lucha Underground too. Him and Penta both. And Ray. I mean, Ray Phoenix was always good. I will say that's one thing I do miss with I do kind of miss Lucha Underground. There was a lot of fun with that one. It was just so gimmicky on itself, but it worked.
Yeah, it was one of those things where like you knew it was all like basically a TV show without. But like it just worked.
Soap opera with fighting,
Yep.
Let's see here. I'm trying to think what else. So obviously we have Rhea Ripley. One is now our new women's world or women's WWE?
Women's world.
I always get them confused.
Yeah, women's world champion because the world heavyweight belt.
And then I do like
whatever.
Dominic immediately trying to go back. Gets kicked in the nuts.
He's a whore for whoever has the belt.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't think the Undertaker moment was needed. I don't want to say it shits on her moment, but like, I didn't understand why he was there. I understand why he's there, but I don't, as a fan, understand why he's doing that in that moment.
allegedly that was supposed to be the spot where Becky comes back, but I think they called it off.
I was
and
gonna say they just confirmed that wasn't
it
the
wasn't.
case. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
It just seemed like they were writing for Becky to come in, and they're like, "No, let's save it for something else."
I'd be surprised if she never comes back.
No, she's pretty much. I think she's coming back during the Royal Rumble.
Really? So yeah, she's one that like I can honestly believe that she's just kind of like, you know what, I'm good for a while kind of thing. Especially being a mom, you know, writing books and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
it wouldn't surprise me. Although, like I said, I'd love to have her back, but
Yeah.
trying to think what else. Oh, we had Valkyria on the last Raw. Won the gauntlet, or not gauntlet, but won
The inaugural ICE belt.
I know you don't care for Valkyria, or you don't think
Yeah.
she's. Yeah, that's more what I mean. It was good. It was a really short match for it being like a title match. Like I feel like I started
Yeah, but they
watching it.
definitely got their shit in.
Yeah,
Like,
it was impressed to see how quickly like the match was over. It's like, oh gosh, okay.
Yeah, I
really
definitely
like-
didn't think it was gonna go as short as it did. And I do think everybody kind of felt that the wrong person won
Dakota should have won.
because they really, I think a lot of
Yeah.
people were behind Dakota. I don't have a problem with Lyra winning. But if you're going against Dakota and she's as over as she is, I do think that was the better call. I don't think that means she'll never win the title.
Yeah.
I know, wrestling Twitter likes to, doom and gloom everything.
She's
'cause
buried.
somebody who lost once. Yeah.
Was a good match though. I will say, as short as it was a good match.
Yeah.
I much like you, I definitely was expecting Dakota to win that because they built her that way. I was fine with either of them winning because I do like Lyra Valkyria, but I also have got kind of Dakota Kai's grown on me. Like I said, she is super over at the moment.
Yeah.
I have a feeling this will be a belt that changes hands kind of quickly.
Yes.
Possibly.
I would
yeah.
say this will change more than the United States women's one will.
Ooh. I'm trying to think. Does Raw have the better singles division right now?
For the
For women
women's
or men?
Women.
I want to say
No.
I'm trying to think of their
SmackDown.
setup.
Neither one has a
Super,
solid
yeah,
women's
super
division.
strong. Well, especially with two. I mean, you have duos competing for a tag belt as well.
Are they?
That just well, you know what I mean.
So
You know what I
Raw-
mean. But
Raw has Kyrie, Io, Dakota, Lyra,
oof.
Hayden James, Kiana James, the Party Girls.
And what the fuck is the name of that stupid fucking
Oh.
name?
Lesbians with Attitude.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
The
They're
LWA.
cool people.
Yeah.
They're cool people.
Yeah, I actually
Listen,
like
that's-
all three of them. I just hate whatever that name is that I can't remember because it's so
Pure
terrible.
Fusion Collective. That's what it
Yes, that's what it is.
is. What the f-
And I would have been okay not remembering it, but you brought it back anyway.
Yes.
No, but
Oh, I was gonna remember
that. No, but yeah, and I like all three of them, but
just Karma.
and I'm okay with them all being together.
Just different name.
It's just that name is just fucking terrible.
No, you know what they give me? It's Christian vibes. Remember that time Christian was gonna return into ECW and Vince told dude to announce it like
Like
it's
nobody
Christian.
gives a shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's their group
I-
gives me that vibe.
Like, oh, it's Christian. Like, yeah.
It's Christian. That's it.
Hey, what do you know?
There.
That guy that used to wrestle for us is back.
Yeah, hey, it's that guy. SmackDown has Zelina Vega, Tiffany Stratton, Bailey, Nia Jax, Bianca, Naomi, Jade,
Chelsea, Piper,
Bishan.
Meechin.
SmackDown has a better roster. SmackDown has a
And it
better roster on paper.
seems like that's where Roxanne is going as well.
Yeah, because she feuded
And
with
she's doing
Bayley.
that. Yeah, she's doing that feud with Bailey.
So again, better roster on paper.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it's going to be utilized properly, but
So when do we think Trick's coming to the main roster?
oh, Trip.
Trick, since he's dropped the title.
I just stroked it.
If it's not like on one of these shows, it'll probably be Royal Rumble.
Royal Rumble, and I would put him on Raw. Honestly,
Keep him away from
Yeah.
Carmella.
Keep him away from Carmella. Yeah.
yeah. Have him go for the IC belt.
I do like Mello and Jimmy's kind of thing they're doing right now. It's been kind of comedic. I think it's funny. I do hate that all of the Bloodline use the same finisher, or the OG Bloodline now use the same finisher. Like, I get they're the family.
Braun Breaker was part of the Bloodline. Sorry.
But no, like,
tired of the
you know,
spear.
Jimmy, Jay, and Roman all do a spear now, and it's just like, let's give these guys.
Yeah, it seems. I
Jimmy
didn't
and
mind.
Jay need a new moveset.
And they're not even
Yeah.
good spears. Like,
No.
Roman's is okay.
Roman's.
Okay.
I like Roman's spear.
But like
Answer
Jay's
me
looks
this.
like he's hugging him.
No. Answer me this. What would Jimmy and Jay's finishers be if it wasn't the spear right now?
Right
Given their
now?
moveset- yes.
I
What was their
mean,
finisher before using the spear?
before the spear, it was
Splash.
a combination of the splash and the Samoan drop.
No, it was just a splash.
I
Splash.
promise you the Samoan drop at one point was part of their finisher set.
This kick. It's super kick.
Super
and
kick
splash.
as well, yeah. And like, I'm not saying that you can't use something of that variation, but like, I'd like some.
They did use the Tequila Sunrise at one point when they first went like Uso Penitentiary heel. They did use the Tequila Sunrise.
I need both of them to have their own finisher.
I
Because we're
agree,
not
yeah.
doing the Hardy. We're not doing the Hardy
Twist the
bullshit.
fates.
Yes.
Well, it's okay because Jeff used the reverse twist of fate neck breaker
Call it
style.
twist of
And
hate.
then, yeah.
And then now one of them's a stunner.
Or then
and
he did
other
the
one's-
and then he started doing the stunner version in TNA, and then
Yeah.
it was weird.
Like I don't like just because y'all are brothers doesn't mean y'all need the same moveset.
Why do I not remember what the Tequila Sunrise is?
Isn't it the Panama Sunrise?
No.
Ah.
The Tequila Sunrise was the submission move that Conan used to do.
I don't know who that is.
Conan?
The Barbarian? I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I'll look it up later.
Yeah.
Part of the reason why Ray Phoenix is in the situation that he's in. Yeah,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
Conan. Yeah.
Guy who will shut his fucking mouth sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, in all fairness, I couldn't
Fucking
tell you
Max
what
Moon.
like Tonga Loa and their finishers. I know what
Tamatongas used to be a variation of a cutter.
Cutter. Okay.
It used to be the what is it called? Stun gun.
Yep.
Like I'm
Which
fine.
is also what Carl Anderson used to use.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I would be fine with like Jimmy keeping the splash. Like I think that's fine because there's not a ton of people that do. Well, I guess there's a few people that do a splash, but like, you know, if you put some variation on it or something, I'm fine with that. You know, I know there's not a lot of
person who does a splash.
there's not a lot of super kicks in the game, so you could have somebody do.
All right. Start that bullshit.
But no, I would like to see some, even if you want to give him a Samoan drop or, you know, some variation of that, just change it up. I don't.
Let one of them do their fucking dad's.
Yeah. Well, I'm assuming we're meaning the driver, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't think either of them are stink face kind of people.
No. Let him do the Rikishi driver.
Yeah.
/ Emerald
Jada Parker.
Explosion and what?
Hold on. What?
No, I was saying if Jada Parker was doing it. Sorry.
Oh my lord.
Yeah, I mean,
Don't
I'm
be
fine with
spreading
that.
misinformation.
Yeah.
I'm not spreading misinformation. I just want to see. Never mind. Had nothing to do with anything.
I was confused
It just
where you
crossed
were
my
going.
mind.
I was confused. But no, I agree. Yeah, let one of them do the Rikishi driver. I think would be fine. Sorry, it's my little tangent because I was rewatching SmackDown. I was like, oh my god, all three of them do spear, and only one of them
Yeah, it was
does it
odd because
okay.
yeah. Well, they do the like edge hug thing.
Even Edge's, I don't think looked that bad, did it?
No, it was never that bad.
No.
Like theirs, it's especially Jay's. Like especially when you see him against Braun, and it's like, okay, one of these spears could feel like it kills somebody. The other one's like, I'm hugging you all the way down.
That's why I mean. That's why like Roman Spear is good.
Yeah.
Um, Lashley Spear when he does the little front flip,
I like that. Yeah.
I've always enjoyed that.
It's
But I mean, even when he wasn't doing the front flip, he had a pretty solid spear. Like back in his first run,
yeah.
he was using that.
But see, that's such a nice way to add variation that doesn't like inherently take away from the ferocity of the move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, if anything, it kind of adds to it because it's kind of like how you sell it to, which I will give. Like JBL's clothesline looked as good as it did a lot of the times because people sold it really well.
Well, and also he's just an asshole who
Well,
like laid that shit in.
yeah.
No, but
Well,
that's
I mean, that's probably so.
actually he's supposedly he's apparently like a very nice human being, but like still like he definitely laid that fucking thing in there quite a few times. I will say one of the best sells in more recent times was Buddy's fucking sell against Roman when he did the backflip.
Yeah,
That was a solid.
he's always good at selling though. Like Buddy's one of those. I think he's like Dolph Ziggler to me or Nick Nemeth, where they just sell really well.
Yep.
Let's see. I'm trying to think anything else from the Netflix Raw showings that was groundbreaking.
I don't know that groundbreaking is really the thing.
Well,
Yeah.
Roman's
new
the
NXT
tribal
champions.
Oh yeah, Uba Femi,
Oba Femi and
Oba,
Julia.
Sorry, that's right. I forgot. I sit there put him on there. I forgot Chief.
Yep. So that's cool. I mean,
both obviously preparing for the former champions to probably make some kind of
Only
move up debut.
yeah, I mean they've already pretty much teased that with
Yeah.
Roxanne, and I mean I feel like with Trick it's just a
wonder what
formality.
feud they'll throw Trick into.
Organs is yeah.
IC belt.
Think so?
I'd be okay. I don't know that he'll go for it right away, but I wouldn't be upset if he did. To be honest with you,
I'd say tournament for the number one contender for the ICU.
Yeah,
Like he shows up as a surprise
like
entrant
surprise.
in that.
Yeah.
Like he wins like the first one, but not the second one.
yeah.
Well, the only thing I have on my list, which me and KJ kind of talked about, was the Acclaim breaking up and how sad I am about that. But I also understand and am okay with it.
Fucking Edge Lord.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
good though, man. The breakup so far, where it's just like watching them have at each other. Fucking bad move, Bowen. But yeah, I mean, y'all have anything?
Nah.
Anything else? I mean, what's do we know what the TNA wise, Joe Hendry's
Yep. That just happened right
just
before
happened
we hit
before we-
record. Yeah.
and then Hardy's retained. You got Ratskulls are gonna be going against
We kind of brushed over
Axiom.
it, but
yeah.
TNA and WWE did announce like a multi-year partnership
Yeah.
thing, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah, I just my
so-
thing is I just hope TNA gets something out of it. I know obviously WWE's probably gonna get the bigger fish
Well,
in the scenario.
they just had NXT people on Genesis all up and down the show. They had,
Yeah.
I mean, not that again, not a huge name, but Ashanti the Adonis
Yeah.
Was on the
laid out an
pre-show.
open challenge. What's her face? Santino's daughter showed up because I
Indiana
just enjoy
Grace.
that they get to I enjoy that they get to like interact with each other. Nathan Frazier and Axiom showed up. Somebody else showed up somewhere. And I
Nick
don't
Nima's
remember.
brother bought a ticket. JBL showed up.
Oh yeah, he's no longer under contract with AEW?
Who? The
Ryan.
brother? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think he is.
I know he was kind of like doing something. What was it, the librarian, whatever the fuck?
The
No, not the librarian
librarian.
thing. What the fuck was he doing?
Was it that Jason Statham movie?
No, that's Lily Bates, whatever her name was.
Yeah. And
She's a
Peter
librarian.
Avalon, but wasn't he partnered with Avalon and somebody else at one point, and that's why I was thinking about the librarian thing. And
Yeah.
yeah,
I forgot what they were doing at the team.
yeah.
I
They were
was-
mostly on like Dark, but like, and then Dark went away, and then they just didn't.
And he magically ended up on CM Punk's shit list for some weird reason that no one knows to this day.
Yeah,
Doesn't seem like
except for
that's
like
hard to
vague
do, in all fairness.
things.
I did like was it CM Punk's little comment when he was giving his promo, well, why can't Rhea Ripley be the one to interrupt me?
Why is it Seth?
Why can't it be
Why is
Rhea?
it never Rhea?
I did like their little kind of back and forth trio. Like, I hate all of you. I'll fight both of you. Who gives a shit? Just get in the ring.
Yeah,
But yeah, I'm here to see what this week's episode's got in store. I know, like you said, the Axiom and them are going against the Radicals for NXT.
yep.
Is Rumble this weekend or is it next weekend?
No, next weekend.
weekend.
Because Saturday night main event is the 25th,
That's right.
Yeah.
I forgot they're doing, yeah.
and then the Rumble is next week.
Halloween week. Yep.
That is right.
Weird thing to do, but
Yeah, a little bit.
I think they booked the show and then realized the problem they ran into after the fact.
But all right, well, ladies and gentlemen, that's we're gonna end it tonight. We will be back next week. Fingers crossed. This episode will probably go up on my plan is for Tuesday. We will have an episode go up on Monday from prior episode.
That's Thursday.
But thank you everybody for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe, whatever that fuck you guys. Okay, I'm going through with it. I was doing a good outro and you had to fucking ruin it.
Fucking mid-March, baby. Let's
go. Shut up.
Let's go.
I do the best that I can with the time that I am given. Okay. But like, comment, subscribe, follow us on all our social medias, including TikTok until it gets banned.
Yes.
But we will catch again. We will catch you guys on the other side of the ring, and have a good night.